There are moments in history when the sky itself seems to hold its breath, waiting to see whether arrogance will be punished or humility rewarded. March 17, 1991. Gulf War air operations are winding down, but the desert air is still thick with tension. American Airlines Flight 123, a red-eye DC-10 from Frankfurt to Washington Dulles, climbs through 33,000 feet over the North Atlantic. On board 212 passengers, a tired crew, and one woman curled under a thin blanket in seat Hun C. Fast asleep with her desert camouflage jacket draped over her like a child's security blanket. In the cockpit sits Captain Richard Harlan, 46 years old, former Navy A-6 intruder pilot turned airline legend. Harlan is famous for three things: an ego the size of an aircraft carrier, 19 Zalos in accident-free hours, and a contempt for anyone who ever flew anything smaller than his current triple-engine throne. To Harlan, Army pilots are grasshopper drivers, Air Force pilots are country club zoomies, and women in cockpits are a punchline he never tires of telling. At 41 minutes past midnight, the number 2 engine explodes. Fire warning lights bathe the cockpit blood red. Hydraulic fluid streams from ruptured lines. The DC-10 rolls hard left, shedding altitude like a wounded bird. The first officer fights the controls while Harlan snaps on the intercom. Voice calm but edged with theatrical urgency. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain. We have a serious engine problem. If there are any combat pilots on board, any current military aviators, please ring your call button now." In row 10, a hand reaches out from beneath the camouflage jacket and presses the button once. The light above 10C glows. 20 seconds later, the cockpit door bursts open. Captain Harlan turns, ready to greet some swaggering Top Gun poster boy. Instead stands a slight woman in faded fatigues, hair cropped short, eyes burning like afterburners, 3 silver bars on her collar. Name tape MAJ. Crodis. Harlan smirks. "Ma'am, this isn't a Black Hawk. Maybe you should." She steps past him, slides into the jump seat, straps in without a word. Her hands find the yoke before Harlan can finish his sentence. The DC-10 is yawing drunkenly, number 2 engine a torch in the night. Rhodes's voice cuts through the chaos, quiet, almost gentle. "Captain, left hydraulic quantity 0, right system bleeding. Give me partial panel and the standby pumps." Harlan opens his mouth to protest. Then the altimeter unwinds through 18,000 feet and the airspeed decays toward Coffin Corner. Rhodes takes the controls. 15 seconds later the fire is out, and the aircraft is level, and the only sound is the soft click of her thumb flipping switches Harlan didn't know existed on a civilian jet. The cockpit is silent except for the whisper of wind over wounded metal. Harlan stares, mouth open, ego shredded at 500 knots. 23 minutes later, the DC-10 touches down safely at Gander, Newfoundland, gear smoking, 1 engine feathered. 212 souls alive who had been seconds from becoming statistics. On the tarmac, fire crews surround the jet. Passengers stumble down the stairs weeping, kissing the ground. Captain Harlan stands at the bottom of the steps, pale, still clutching his 4-stripe epaulettes like a child holding broken toys. Major Kim Rhodes walks past him carrying nothing but her small rucksack. A CBS camera crew, already on site for refueling news, catches what happens next. Harlan finds his voice. "Major, I thank you." Rhodes stops, turns. The cameras zoom Harlan, loud enough for history to hear. "I owe you my life. I was wrong. About everything." The passengers behind him fall quiet. Rhodes looks at him for a long moment, then at the circle of exhausted faces watching their captain eat crow on a frozen runway. She speaks softly, but every microphone catches it. "Sir, the aircraft doesn't care how many stripes you wear or what you think of the person flying it. It only cares whether they respect the machine and the lives in back. Tonight, respect one." She salutes, not him, but the airplane, then walks into the terminal without looking back. A 3-star general waiting to greet returning troops overhears the exchange. He will later write in his memoir. In one sentence, she taught more about leadership than West Point does in 4 years. The incident never made front pages. The military classified the tape, and American Airlines buried it to protect their star captain's reputation. But pilots talk. Within weeks, the story spread through every squadron bar from Bragg to Ramstein. The night a grasshopper driver, Army major with 900 hours in Kiowas, saved a DC-10 and humiliated the smudgest captain in the airline. Cadets at Fort Rucker still whisper it during primary flight training. Delta and United captains repeat Rhodes's line word for word when some legacy pilot gets too loud in the crew lounge. Major Kim Rhodes finished her tour. Left the Army in 1996 and disappeared into civilian life. Some say she flies air ambulances in Alaska under a different name. No one has ever found her to ask. But on dark and stormy nights, when a widebody lumbers into the air and the cockpit grows too proud, old captains swear they can hear a quiet voice from Row Hunvey. Respect the machine and the lives in back. And somewhere high above the clouds, a woman who once slept through terror smiles, knowing the sky remembers who really rules it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories from US Stew or Ice.